Operating Room 3 at Mercy Medical, 10:43 p.m. The last surgery of the day was supposed to start in 20 minutes, but the night cleaner had stopped her mop. The suction line junction connecting to the table carried a yellow tint she had never seen before. Faint, but wrong.
That color, not right. Not for a sterile line.
What are you still doing in here? Or's prepped. You were supposed to be out an hour ago.
Doctor, this color, not right. The suction junction, it looks contaminated.
You are a janitor. A janitor. Get out of my OR, now. Security.
Dr. Harrington, what's the problem?
She's interfering with a critical prep. Remove her. Hospital policy. Only essential personnel inside.
The surgeon pulled his mask up, turned back to the table. The suction line stayed in place. He did not look at it again. Maria Duval was escorted to a waiting room and suspended pending review. The surgery in OR3 began without her second glance.
The surgery is still running. I should have insisted. But who am I? Just the woman who mops the floor.
Inside Recovery Bay C, the patient's vitals buckled. Alarms cut through the silence like glass.
Dr. Harrington, his pressure's dropping. Systolic 40. He's going into VFib.
Push epi and start compressions. It's a post-op storm. He'll stabilize.
22 minutes of resuscitation. Then the resident's voice cut through the chaos. Time of death, 11:58 p.m.
3 deaths in 6 weeks. And tonight, a cleaner saw something. This can't keep happening. Dr. Chen, forgive the hour. I need to tell you something about OR3 tonight. The night cleaner, Maria, she stopped, pointed at a suction line. Harrington threw her out. Then the patient crashed.
He had security remove her for speaking up? I'll pull the records. Thank you, Sarah. Go home.
Maria Duval took the bus home, suspended without pay. She did not yet know that the patient in OR3 was dead. The next morning, Dr. Chen called an emergency mortality review. The OR3 death had pushed Andrew Harrington into a spotlight he did not want.
Dr. Harrington, this is the 3rd post-op death on your table in 6 weeks. I need you to walk us through OR3.
My technique was flawless. If anything failed, it was sterile processing. That department has been slipping for months.
Dr. Chen, the night cleaner, Maria Duval, pointed at the suction line before the surgery. She said the color was wrong.
And you had security remove her for that. I've already requested your last 3 case files, Andrew. We'll see if there's a pattern.
She laid 3 files on the table, each one stamped deceased. All 3 had been on Andrew Harrington's table in the past 40 days. Across town, Maria sat in her living room. She had not opened the suspension letter. Instead, she held something older. A nurse's cap from Haiti.
15 years as charge nurse. Sterile field protocol was my specialty. And here, they wouldn't even let me look at a line.
She put the cap back in the drawer. On the table, the suspension notice waited, but she did not reach for it. Not yet.
They will see it eventually. The line is contaminated. I just don't know if they will see it before another patient dies.
The phone rang. Maria hesitated, then picked it up. It was Amara calling from her dorm before class.
Grandma, I heard something from a nurse friend. Did something happen at work? You sound strange.
They suspended me, baby. I pointed out a contaminated line, and the surgeon threw me out. Now a patient is dead.
Number? That's not right, Grandma. You were a charge nurse in Haiti. Can't you tell someone?
I am just the cleaner to them. But I am going to write a letter to the chief of surgery. Explain exactly what I saw.
Amara's voice steadied her. Maria pulled out a sheet of paper and began to write in her careful, precise hand. She wrote about the suction line junction, the yellow biofilm she had seen before in a post-operative outbreak in Port-au-Prince.
15 years of sterile protocol. They may not see my credentials, but they will see the evidence if they look.
She sealed the envelope, addressed to Dr. Cynthia Chen, walked to the mailbox, and dropped it in. It was the first time in 23 years she had put her nursing voice on paper. Now she could only wait. 2 days after the emergency review, a letter arrived in Dr. Chen's office. It was handwritten from Maria Duval, the cleaner Harrington had thrown out. She read it twice, The writer knew surgical sterilization. She described a biofilm buildup inside the suction junction, something the autoclave could not sterilize.
Dr. Harrington, come to my office. Now, this letter from Maria Duval. She claims the suction line you used was contaminated with a biofilm. She was a charge nurse in Haiti for 15 years.
A cleaning lady. You are listening to a janitor over me? She doesn't know sterile protocol.
She knows enough to describe Burkholderia cepacia by sight. That line is being cultured. I've ordered it. Get the suction line from OR3 to pathology. Full culture and sensitivity. Stat.
The junction was sealed in a sterile bag and rushed to the lab. The yellow tint was clearly visible. Maria waited at home. She did not know that in Recovery Bay, another patient was fighting a fever they could not explain.
She was a janitor. Just a janitor. This has to be a contaminant error in the lab.
In the pathology lab, the technicians swabbed the yellow junction and streaked a culture plate. The first growth appeared within 8 hours.
Bacterial growth? Specifically, gram-negative rods? Keep running the full sequence. I need speciation.
Gram negatives are everywhere. It's probably environmental contamination from the handling, not clinically significant.
Environmental contamination doesn't kill 3 patients in 6 weeks. The full analysis continues. Your license may depend on it.
Maria's phone buzzed. A nurse she still trusted from Mercy Medical whispered, "They're testing the line." Maria closed her eyes.
Thank you, God. They're testing. That means Chen read my letter.
If this matches, I am finished, but it can't. I've been too careful.
I need the full genetic fingerprint by Friday. No more preliminary reports. I want the answer.
Maria did not call the hospital. She waited, and she prayed. The lab kept running. The culture kept growing. At Mercy Medical, the patient in Recovery Bay C finally responded to a powerful antibiotic, but the infection pattern matched the 3 prior deaths.
Dr. Chen, the infection markers match the 3 prior deaths exactly. It's the same organism. It's not a coincidence.
I know. I am calling the lab again. They owe us a final answer.
Dr. Chen DL'd pathology. The full genetic fingerprint was still processing. She demanded results by end of day.
Grandma, I talked to a legal aid clinic. They said you have a strong case for wrongful suspension.
I don't know, baby. I don't want to cause more trouble. Maybe after the test results come back.
They threw you out for doing the right thing. You can't let this go. Promise me you'll call the number.
If the lab confirms the bacteria, then I'll call. Send me the number. I'll keep it close.
I am sending it right now. You deserve justice, Grandma. Don't let them silence you.
Maria saved the number. She still had 2 days of suspension left. The hospital was inching closer to the truth. On Friday morning, the final lab report landed in Dr. Chen's inbox. She opened it and read the words that would end a surgeon's career.
Burkholderia cepacia, confirmed. A biofilm inside the suction junction. The autoclave couldn't reach it. A manufacturing flaw.
The DNA from the junction matched the bacteria found in the 3 deceased patients. 4 deaths, 1 source.
Andrew, the evidence is in. The suction line you used killed 4 people.
Number. That can't be. I followed protocol. It's the equipment, not my hands.
Your license is under review by the medical board. Effective immediately. You are suspended.
A janitor. A janitor saw what I missed, and I threw her out of my OR.
The Mortality Review Board was notified. The hospital had a systemic issue, but the blame landed squarely on Andrew Harrington. He stared at the evidence, his hands shaking. The woman he had humiliated was right all along. His surgical privileges were revoked within the hour. The hospital would have to answer for the deaths, but first they had to face Maria Duval. The hospital called Maria that Friday with an offer: reinstatement as a cleaning technician, full back pay. She read the letter and put it down.
I am not going back to mop floors. I was a charge nurse for 15 years. Tell the hospital I want to meet.
You are doing the right thing, Grandma. This is your chance to show them who you really are.
Monday morning, Maria walked into the hospital boardroom. Dr. Chen was waiting.
Maria, the lab confirmed what you saw. We owe you an apology. We're offering your job back with full benefits.
I don't want my old job, Dr. Chen. I was a charge nurse in Port-au-Prince. My credentials were never recognized here. Let me take the U.S. Nursing Equivalency exam. If I pass, I want to help fix your sterile protocol, not as a cleaner.
If you pass that exam, I'll create a new position, or sterility director. You would set the standard for every surgery here.
I'll pass. I've been studying for 23 years. You'll have your sterility director.
That night, Maria opened a nursing textbook for the first time in 2 decades. The sterility director role was hers, if she proved herself one more time. The days blurred into a rhythm of coffee, textbooks, and flashcards. Maria studied from 5 in the morning until the clock struck midnight.
Amara, come test me on sterile field protocols. I need to be sure.
You've got this, Grandma. Over half the candidates are younger than you, but none of them have your experience.
Age is just a number. I've been doing this in my head for years. I just need to pass the exam.
Across the city, Andrew Harrington sat with his lawyer, listening to options he did not want to hear.
I won't grovel in public. The line was defective, not my hands.
But the lawyer was blunt. The board would crucify him unless he showed remorse. He needed to publicly acknowledge the cleaner's observation.
A janitor. I have to publicly thank a janitor.
Maria's kitchen table was covered with textbooks, a tablet with nursing tutorials, and a cold cup of coffee.
1 more week. Then the exam. Then they will see.
The morning of the exam, Amara drove Maria to the testing center. In the passenger seat, Maria clutched a small frame, a photo of herself as a young charge nurse.
You are going to walk in there and prove what you already know, Grandma. All those late nights were for this.
I just hope my memory holds. It's been many years, but I will do my best.
She kissed Amara's cheek and walked through the glass doors. At the registration desk, she signed her name, Maria Duval, candidate 204.
The room is so quiet. Just keyboards and my own heart. Focus, Maria.
She logged into the terminal. The first question filled the screen, and Maria Duval began to answer. Across the city, Andrew Harrington sat with a draft press release his lawyer had left. One line stood out. A cleaning technician, Maria Duval, identified the contamination that 3 surgical teams missed.
A janitor. I have to thank a janitor to save my career.
Maria answered question after question, her fingers steady on the keyboard. By the time the screen went dark, she had done everything she could. Maria stepped out of the testing center into the afternoon sun. Her mind was hollowed out, but her heart was lighter than it had been in weeks.
Amara, it's done. I don't know if I passed, but I gave them everything I had.
Then that's all that matters for now, Grandma. Now we wait, and maybe you sleep.
She tried to rest, but the quiet of her apartment was heavy. The waiting gnawed at her.
I did everything I could. Now, it's in God's hands.
At Mercy Medical, Dr. Chen gathered the surgical department for an unexpected update.
In the coming weeks, we will appoint a new OR sterility director, contingent on the candidate passing the nursing board.
Who is it? Someone from outside?
I can't say more until the result is official, but trust me, she's earned it.
Maria did not know that across town, the hospital was already preparing for her arrival. 2 weeks after the exam, a thick envelope from the state nursing board arrived in Maria's mailbox. She held it without opening, her hands unsteady.
This is the moment. Whether I go back to cleaning or step into the role I was trained for.
She tore the seal. Inside, a single sheet with a state seal. At the top, one word, pass.
Oh, thank God, I passed. Amara, I passed.
Grandma, I knew it. I am so proud of you.
Maria called Mercy Medical immediately. Dr. Chen picked up on the first ring.
Dr. Chen, it's Maria Duval. I passed the equivalency exam.
Congratulations, Maria. I'll start the paperwork for your appointment as OR sterility director.
The news reached Andrew Harrington through his lawyer. He sat in his shadowed office, staring at the wall.
A janitor. She passed the nursing board. And now I have to face the cameras.
The next morning, Andrew Harrington faced a wall of cameras in the hospital auditorium. The prepared statement trembled in his hand.
The deaths of 4 patients were caused by a contaminated suction line, a defect in the autoclave seal. I failed to recognize the warning when it was given. The person who saw what I missed is a cleaning technician, Maria Duval. She pointed at the line, and I had security remove her. She was right.
Then the hospital spokesperson read the board's decision. Dr. Harrington's license would be restricted for 18 months. Across the city, Maria Duval sat on her sofa, Amara beside her. The news broadcast filled the small living room.
Grandma, he said your name in front of all those reporters.
I didn't need his apology. I needed them to fix the lines. But yes, he said my name. It was never about revenge. It was about the truth. And now everyone knows.
She did not smile broadly. She did not cry. She just watched the screen until it went dark, then turned to Amara with calm eyes.
Now the real work can begin.
2 days after the press conference, Maria Duval walked through the hospital doors in a tailored navy suit, not a cleaner's uniform.
Maria Duval, it's my honor to officially present you with this badge, or Sterility Director.
Thank you, Dr. Chen. It's been a long road to get here, but I never forgot who I was.
Then she walked toward operating room 3, the same room where she had been thrown out as a janitor.
Maria, is it really you? I heard you were the new director.
It's me, Sarah. And the first thing I need is for every suction line in this hospital to be gathered for inspection.
All of them? That's going to cause delays in the schedule.
Scheduling will adjust. What won't adjust is a dead patient. I've seen what a yellow junction can do. Get the recall started.
Within the hour, a new protocol poster was on the wall. A checklist that included visual inspection of every suction junction before prep. Maria Duval stood alone in OR 3, her hands on her hips. The room was silent, but this time, she was in charge. In a quiet corner of the hospital, Andrew Harrington packed his office. Framed certificates went into a box along with a stethoscope and a surgeon's pride. He stepped into the corridor with the box in his arms. 18 months of restriction would start tomorrow. At the same moment, Maria Duval walked toward her new office. The navy suit she wore fit like armor. Their paths crossed in the long white hallway. He stopped. She slowed. The space between them grew small.
The woman who saw what 20 surgeons missed. She saved my career by destroying it.
Maria gave him a single nod, not forgiveness. Just acknowledgement that he knew now what she had known all along. Andrew nodded back, eyes wet, then turned and continued toward the exit. No words were needed. Maria watched him go, then straightened her shoulders and walked to the office with her name on the door. Inside, she sat at her desk and looked at the framed photo from Haiti, the young charge nurse she had been.
From cleaning floors to director. Not bad for a janitor.
Over the next week, Maria Duval held training sessions in every OR. She stood before surgeons and nurses, holding up a yellowed suction junction.
This color means death. You see it? You stop the prep. No exceptions.
The staff listened. The same people who once passed her with a mop now took notes from the woman in the navy suit.
Maria, I just want to say, I am sorry I didn't speak up louder that night. You deserved better.
You reported it. That took courage. We're going to make sure it never happens again.
By the end of the week, a new poster hung in every operating room, the Duval Protocol, Visual Suction Line Inspection. Beneath the title, her signature. A cleaner's name became a medical standard. On Friday, the surgical chief made it mandatory. No surgery would proceed without a signed Duval checklist.
She went from being thrown out to being the one who decides who stays. That's justice.
Maria Duval's protocol went beyond Mercy Medical. It was the start of a change no one saw coming. On a quiet Saturday, Amara came to Mercy Medical to see where her grandmother now worked. The proud lobby, the sterile corridors, the office with a nameplate.
You look different, Grandma. Not just the suit. You look like you belong here.
I always belonged here, baby. They just couldn't see it. Now they have to.
They stopped before the protocol poster in the OR corridor. Amara's eyes ran over the words, the Duval Protocol.
They named a protocol after you. That's forever.
In her office, Maria unlocked a drawer and pulled out a folded white cap, stiff with age.
This cap came with me from Port-au-Prince. I want you to have it, Amara, to remember that credentials can be taken, but knowledge cannot.
I will keep it safe, and one day I will show it to my own daughter.
Maria placed the cap in Amara's cupped hands. The circle was complete.
From Haiti to Boston, from charge nurse to cleaner, and now director. The cap never stopped being mine.
After Amara left, Maria sat alone in her office, the late afternoon light slanting through the blinds. The photo from Haiti stood on her desk.
That young nurse never imagined she would one day set the standard for an entire hospital.
She touched the edge of the frame, then adjusted her reading glasses with a gentle hand.
You did it, Maria. You made them see.
The plaque on her door was visible from her chair. Or sterility director.
Not bad for a janitor.
She smiled softly, the years of cleaning floors and fighting back settling into a quiet peace.
The cap is with Amara. The protocol is on the wall. The work will go on.
The sun dipped lower, casting a golden glow across the nameplate that had once been unimaginable.
Time to go home. Tomorrow there will be new lines to inspect.
The next morning, before the first surgery, Maria walked through the OR suite alone. The lights were bright, the trays were set, the suction lines gleamed clear. She paused at the instrument tray. Every clamp, every line had been checked according to her own protocol.
This room once threw me out. Now it answers to me.
She adjusted a clamp that was slightly off-center, then ran a gloved finger along the edge of the sterile field.
Every detail matters. That's what I learned in Port-au-Prince, and what they forgot here.
She checked the autoclave log, her signature already on 24 previous runs this week. A nurse passed the doorway and smiled. Maria nodded back. No words needed. On the wall, the Duval Protocol poster hung straight and clean. The yellow junctions were gone.
I did what I came to do. Now it's time to let others learn.
The OR stood ready, silent and sterile. Everything was exactly as it should be. In the corner of OR3 storage, a cleaning cart stood untouched. Hanging from its handle was a director's lab coat. The woman who once pushed that cart now set the standards for an entire surgical wing. Maria Duval never forgot the night she was thrown out, but she also never forgot who she was. A charge nurse in Haiti, a janitor in Boston, a sterility director, all the same woman. In the weeks that followed, hospitals across the state began adopting her visual inspection protocol, but she rarely spoke about the change. She just kept checking the lines every morning.
It's not about the title. It's about the line. The line must always be clear.
Her name became more than a protocol. It became a reminder that the person who cleans the floor might see what the surgeon overlooks. And in a Boston hospital, the night cleaner had become the standard. On the wall of the OR supply room, a new photograph hung next to the protocol poster. Maria Duval shaking hands with Dr. Chen. In the empty OR, a heart monitor was left on, its green line tracing steady peaks across the screen. No patient was attached. The machine was testing itself, the way the hospital had tested itself these past months. The cleaning cart still stood in the corner. Its handle bore the faint scratches of 1,000 journeys across tile. Maria Duval never pushed that cart again, but she never allowed it to be removed. The heart monitor beeped, once, twice, steady, and somewhere outside the OR, Maria was arriving for the morning shift, not as a cleaner, but as the director who still checked every line. The line was clear, and no patient would ever die from a yellow junction again. The cart stayed, the protocol stayed, and Maria Duval stayed, true to the line, true to herself.